Hbar. Let's talk, because someone asked me yesterday, where do I base $3 to $4 per Hbar token in the year 2025, which is 2 years from now? Because as you all know, we're headed into a bull market. So today we gotta talk that price and where am I basing that off. We also gotta talk old narratives versus new narratives for Hedera. You're gonna want to stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. So at the time of this recording, guys, we're up 6.77% for Hedera Hashgraph. Last year, I started a DCA position into Hedera. I vowed to get me 100,000 tokens, and this was at 3 cents. And we got pretty close to 100K. We're nearly there. We're nearly there at 100,000 Hbar, which is dope. Now, let's talk the narratives, because Hedera, I see this a lot. Even I fell for it. Back in 2021, the big narratives for Hedera Hashgraph was what? The technology. The company focused on the tech more and more, but on the marketing side, it didn't push us well. What am I talking about? Google, IBM, the governing council. Do you see the partnerships? DBS, you heard it all. You heard it all in 2021, 2019, 2018. If you were here, Hedera was pushing for these. They were focusing on the tech, and they partnered with Google and the likes of IBM and all these big giant companies. And this was the narrative for 2021 bull market, but it didn't take us to the next level. We literally went from pennies to 55 cents, and that is where Hedera Hashgraph topped, because the company, Lemon Bear and them, they weren't focused on price. They were mainly focused on marketing themselves to these giant companies and selling the technology itself. That because Hashgraph is one of the craziest techs ever. I'm telling you, distributed ledger technology this is just amazing. DAG, come on, you already know the drill for Hedera Hashgraph. Now, FPost, all of these guys, I don't think this is the narrative that's gonna take us to the next level when it comes to pumpermentals. I'm talking about what's gonna pump the Hedera Hashgraph, the Hbar price. Why? Because, Hbar lagged behind the Cardanos and all these other large altcoins last bull cycle. This bull cycle, this narrative here, I think people are gonna have to tone it down and focus on these narratives out here. This is the new narrative. Now you see suddenly LG coming out with their own sustainable NFT marketplace for buy and sell, for buying and selling the digital artworks. Things like this, they're building now. Things like DeFi. We're going to talk about social swap in a minute. This is the new narrative. This right here, when articles come out and they're talking about, on the positive side, on-chain metrics for Hedera Hashgraph. The network is quite popular, is getting more and more popular amongst users. The number of created accounts in the network have risen to over 2.7 million accounts now, while the active account stands at 1.3 million accounts. People are creating Hedera wallets and Hedera accounts every single day now. Hedera has handled 32.7 billion transactions as of recent, with an average TPS of 1,000 transactions per second. Remember, years ago we was talking about if we just get to 150,000 transactions per second. 100, 400. We went from 100 to 400 to about 600 transactions per second to now look at it, 1,000 TPS. And the biggest deciding factor for the next bull cycle for Hedera Hashgraph would be the big giant. You already know social swap. If you go to DeFi Llama, Hedera Hashgraph TVL, I think is about 50 million or something to that nature. But social swap covers a lot of that, right? Market cap, 21.3 million. I like social swap. The source token is absolutely amazing. So I've allocated some Hbar into the liquidity pool for social swap, right? I need to log into my thing. Now, the source token is currently 3 cents. And the Hbar token is what? At 9 cents. Now there's arbitraging in between. So if you're playing with the liquidity pool in terms of staking and whatnot, you can make a ton load of money. You can gain more HBAR doing that, it will help your DCA strategy and our position as well. So don't forget about the source token. It's not just about the Hedera Hashgraph, the HBAR token, but source swap with 1 billion supply. This could hit $1 faster than the HBAR token. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's at 3 cents right now. This is the #1 DEX on the Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem when it comes to DeFi Llama. I think they're only on one centralized exchange, MEXE. The volumes are very low there, 200,000, which means this coin is mostly traded on the V1 source swap DApp. You got to go to the DEX. So think of pulsechain. Well, this is the pulsex of Hedera Hashgraph. Pulsechain, pulsex. Hedera Hashgraph, source swap. Cardano, MinSwap. Now you get it. Ethereum, Uniswap. Binance, PancakeSwap. So each chain has a large DEX that's laying on top of it. So this is the largest DEX on the Hedera Hashgraph token. Me and Mr. Zuni was talking about how we're waiting for the HBAR price to drop down. Once it cool off, I think between 4 to 5 cents is my target. 5-6 cents, and then boom. I don't think we might see a 3 cent HBAR for a while. You need a drastic market drop. So because we're waiting on that, for the people who feel like they missed out on the HBAR token at the bottom lows of 3 cents, when we was talking about it last year, source swap could be your move. No financial advice. You might want to look into it. This is the #1 DEX on Hedera Hashgraph network. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Network effect. Hedera can now grow on its own. It's its own chain. It's really powerful because I don't think the governing council narrative, because I know these are big names, but Deutsche Bank, Boeing, Chainlink Labs, DBS, Dell, all of these guys, they're part of the governing council of Hedera. That narrative is 2021 narrative. The new narrative now is Hedera has to build its own when it comes to DeFi and compete with the NFT marketplace. They should take some of the liquidity from the Ethereums of this world, which has all the liquidity in the world, and bridge it over to they have to do what the Solanas of this world are doing. Compete with Ethereum in terms of, onboarding new users. And once Hedera facilitate itself, and I tried source swap, it's smooth, bro. It's really smooth. This is the best chain out there so far, pretty much. It's dope. Now, because of that, they need to, focus on that narrative so they can migrate over to the new thing now, the next new thing. And that's what I like about Hedera. $3 to $4 now per HBAR token. I'm basing it mainly on adoption. That's it. We have to get adoption. Once the new crowd gets in here, you have more users that are using source swap. These volumes right here on DeFi Llama kick from 50 to 150 million to 300 million to about 1 billion. If we get to them levels where the DeFi users get into source swap now, they're getting familiar with the distributed ledger technology and DAG and HBAR, whatever. If they get familiar into that, then you might see a price boost for the HBAR token. Now, this is not a tomorrow play out. And I'm not even thinking 2024. We will be well into the bull market of 2025 in order for this to play out, for Hedera to hit at least $3 to $4 per HBAR token, which means if you just have 100,000 tokens, you could turn that into literally $300,000. And if you happen to have, let's say, 50 to 100,000, let's just say 50,000 source swap tokens at 3 cents right now, that's next to nothing to buy that. No financial advice. But if you have that and source swap explode, because it's only 1 billion token. HBAR has over 50 billion token. But source swap, 1 billion tokens could easily hit $5 to $6. If you turn that into that, that's 300,000 you also made off of the source swap token itself. That's how powerful these things can go. People forget about DEX coins, but they tend to perform well now during a euphoric phase in a bull cycle. And we've seen what Uniswap did. We was airdropped Uniswap back in 2020 at under $2, bro. And everybody got 400 tokens. Some people got 1,400. Depends on how long you was using the Uniswap token, the Uniswap DEX. Now, that had turned into, I think we ran up to like 30, 40 or $50. I can't remember. But we got close to the 40s. $40 per Uniswap token. It ran from $1 to there between 2020 and the bull market of 2021. PancakeSwap, same thing with the Cake token. SosaSwap, I'm looking into that. MinSwap, Cardano, don't forget about that one too. So this is gonna be too many tokens now, but as many have seen my portfolio, I haven't touched many of those tokens as of yet. I'm looking for a great entry point for some of them and just put a little bit of money in there. You cannot buy all the tokens that are out there because it's just too many of them, you know. Target the few good ones. Target the few good ones. I'm going with Hbar. Somebody else could go with ADA. Somebody else could go with, I don't know, pulsechain or whatever. But yeah, target a few good ones and just stick with them. And yeah, this bull market is going to be epic, man. I'm just happy that we're making finally gains and we're coming back. Crypto requires patience. This thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You don't have to, oh, I got to make money right now type of guy. You can, you know, delay your gratification and just wait it out and slowly DCA. This channel is just to show people, listen, dollar cost averaging works. So what you miss out on some DeFi project that promising you some crazy yield and whatnot, you know, so what? It's not the end of the world if you do. You know, if you DCA, you put your money in your own wallet, I guarantee you within the next few months, you realize, oh, man, I've saved so many tokens. Look at the value now. When we started our Hbar DCA position, it was at 3.5 cents. Now this thing is nearly at 10 cents. You see? So within a year, in a span of a month, 52 weeks, you slowly win like that. And that's the powerful thing about crypto. It requires patience. This thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Take your time. You know, price predictions are fun, but none of us know where this is going to take us. For all I know, this could top at $2 next cycle. But I'm targeting $3 to $4. Some people are saying $5 Hbar. Bless you heart. It can happen. You never know, bro. That's the beauty about price predictions. Everybody throw their one out there based off of what they think could happen. And let's just leave it at that. Shout out to my members. To join the membership, don't forget to subscribe. Next to the subscription button, there's join for $2 a month to support Nakamoto Crypto. I want to thank you all. And I appreciate all of you. Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.